In this video, I'm going to discuss the Embed form option for lead generated. The process is pretty simple. Within lead generated, you build and design your website form. Then you copy a small piece of code and paste it in your website in the location you would like your form to appear. This form is a direct connection into lead generated. Let's take a look at an example of what this is, and then we'll talk about how we set things up. This is a basic form on a Weebly site. I have built this inside of lead generated. Every company in lead generated has a website form associated with it. This is the one for this company. This is our form builder. It's probably pretty similar to the ones you've used to build forms for your websites. On the left side over here represents the fields that are on this form. I can decide if I want these fields to show up in the embedded form by turning this switch on or off. So you can see the street address field is not visible on the website. That's because I have it turned off right here. If I'd like to have it show up on the website, I can turn this on, then save this form, and just refresh the page to see my new form. When someone fills out this form on your website, it will show up inside of lead generated instantly and be associated with this company in our system. The process of building this form in lead generated is quick and easy. From within lead generated, you can customize the look and feel of this form, as well as the field types and the requirements. This is an ideal way to connect your Weebly site, or a great alternative if you're using a setup within WordPress that is not currently supported by our plugin. This form option will work with any type of site. As we mentioned, it will work with Weebly, WordPress, Wix, Squarespace. It's just a piece of HTML code, which is what all websites use. Think of it as you're building a little widget or part inside of lead generated, and you can take that and paste it into any website. In this case, the little widget is a form, and it's kind of universal as it will work on any website. If you have not watched the video on website forms, I highly recommend you check that one out, as many of the concepts overlap with this video. As I mentioned, every company within lead generated has a website form associated with it. When you first created your company, you were asked which form you wanted to use. You can make a unique form for each company, or you can reuse the same form for several companies. These forms serve a few different purposes. One of these is to map the fields from your website to the columns within lead generated. The second purpose is to provide a form that you can customize and embed on your website. You can see the form associated with your company in a few different places, such as the company edit screen. To get there, expand settings from the left navigation menu. Then choose companies, and finally pick all companies. On the screen, select edit next to your company. From here, you can edit any of the company settings. Notice this field here, the website form name, where we can see the active form or choose a new one if we like. Okay, now that we know the form that's associated with our company, let's go take a look at the place where we can customize this form and make it how we want it. Since this form is related to bringing leads into the system, it's going to be in the leads area of the navigation. So let's expand leads on the left side, and next we'll click on website forms. Within website forms, we're going to select all forms. If this is your first time on the screen, then you'll only have one form. You can see a list of the companies that are using this form in this column. Let's click Edit to open the form editor for this form. As we saw a minute ago, this is our form builder. On the left side, we have the list of fields that are currently on this form. And on the right side, we have the list of available fields we can add to this form. To add a field to the form, I can click the plus sign. To remove a field, we can click this trash can icon. I can rearrange the order of these fields by simply clicking and dragging one up or down. Pretty simple, right? Notice on the available fields, we have predefined and custom fields. Whenever possible, use the predefined fields. If you need fields that are not available within the predefined fields, then we have the custom fields. With the custom fields, you can create any type of field you like. To add a new field, click Add New and select the field type from this pop-up window. Depending on the field type you select, you'll have different options. So for instance, on the radio button option, I can put the title of the radio button here with the choices and the options here. After I create my field, I will need to add it to the form by clicking this plus sign. The lead type and progress fields are required, so you cannot remove them from this form. They are present for every lead. For more about these fields, check out the website forms or lead flow videos. As I mentioned, you design your form within Lead Generated and then you paste it into your site. Currently, we do not have a preview option within Lead Generated for you, but we're working to add that soon. As we saw earlier with street address, just because a field is on this form, it does not mean it has to show up on your website. To control which fields are visible on your website, click this person icon and toggle this embed form switch here. So if this switch is on, the field would show up on the form that you embed on your website. And if it's turned off, it will not show up. Just to make sure this point is clear, let's do a little test. This is the form on our website. Notice street address is not visible. I'm going to turn on this option within my form. Then I'm going to save my form within Lead Generated. Now I'm going to refresh my website. And look, there it is. Street address is visible now. Notice I did not update the code or anything like that. All I did was save the form and refresh the website page, and it made the change for me. Once we have this form how we like it, let's click Save, and I'll show you where to get the code you could paste on your website. When we are connecting with something outside of Lead Generated, we're going to go to the Integration menu. To get there, we'll click Settings from the left side navigation, and then Integrations. On this screen, we're going to select the Embed Form option. For each company that you want to use the Embed Form, you'll create a new code, even if you're using the same form for more than one company. While you can use the same form for as many companies as you like, you cannot have more than one website sending leads to the same company within Lead Generated. So one company within Lead Generated, one website connection. If you try to add a second connection here, you will get an error. If you already have a connection to this company for WordPress, Weebly, or Zapier, it won't work. If this is the case, remove the existing connection and then come back here to create the embed code again. To create the embed code, select your company from the top drop-down menu and then click Submit. You should see a pop-up menu like this. In this top area, it's asking what to do after a form submission. You can redirect the user to a different page, or you can give them some sort of a message, such as "Thank you, we have received your form submission." This box below allows you to customize the look and feel of your form further with custom CSS or HTML. After you have made your selections, click the Save to proceed to the next step. So this is that little piece of code we talked about that you need to copy and paste on your website. To copy this code, click this blue button. If you make any changes later on in your form, you do not need to come back and copy this again. As we mentioned, this embed form will work on any website, so the place you put it will be different depending on your chosen website platform. For this example, I'm going to demonstrate how to install this piece of code in Weebly. So, since I clicked the copy button, I have this code copied into my clipboard. I'm now going to log into the admin area of my website, which in this case is Weebly. For Weebly, I will need to click on the Edit Website button. Once I get inside of Weebly, I'm going to select the page I want to edit and then click on Build. From the left menu here, you need to click this button to show all the elements. You'll see there's an option to embed code, so I can grab and drag this into the main window area here. Once I have that embed code block added, I can click here to bring up this menu and then click Edit Custom HTML. This is the area I need to paste in the code from my clipboard. As you can see, Weebly is showing me the form I created in Lead Generated. If I need to make any changes, I can return to the form builder and make my changes. Just make sure you click Save in Lead Generated and then refresh this page to see your latest changes. Once everything looks how you want it, we can click Publish and our form will be live. For Weebly, I can just click this link to see the live version of my website. Next, I'm going to navigate to the page within the website where I added the form, which in my case is this Embed Form page. On this page, I'm going to fill out a test lead, just like I was a customer. I want to test the connection to Lead Generated. Once I click Submit, I will see the test message I added on the integration screen. If you chose the redirect option, you should be redirected to that URL. Now we're going to return to Lead Generated to make sure our test lead has been pulled into the system. The best place to check for this lead is on the All Leads screen. So we can expand leads and then select All Leads. You can see our form submission on the top of the list right here. If you don't see your lead on the All Leads screen, the first place to check is in the spam folder to make sure it wasn't marked as spam. If it's not there either, please make sure you followed all the directions correctly for this video. If everything is set up correctly, but you can't seem to get the lead to come through, we are happy to help. Just fill out a ticket and someone from our team will reach out to you shortly. With the other website connection methods, the next step is usually field mapping. But since we built the form inside Lead Generated, everything is mapped by default. We know there's a lot of moving parts and there was a lot covered in this video. So if it was confusing, watch it again and go at your own pace.